Hey guys, thanks for joining us on our first episode of Game Misconduct, the unofficial FPHL podcast. Kind of new to this, so bear with us while we get our bearings with what we're going to be doing. But I just want to start off with giving everybody an opportunity to introduce
Hello.
themselves. So meet all of our hosts. My name is Anna. I'm a hardcore Dragon fan. One of the first founders with the FPHL Trash Talk page. I'm sure a handful of you guys have seen us in there going back and forth in the comments, and currently living in New Mexico, but probably headed back to Georgia shortly. So, who's next?
Hi, I'm Edric. How are ya? I'm a fan from the Prowlers since 2016. I also like to invigorate people in conversation. I'm from Port Huron, been here since 2012. Formerly than that, was a 15-year season ticket holder to the Generals back in the UHL days. So, familiar with trash talking? Yes. Joined this page right as it started, just like Anna, Lee, and Taylor, and everybody else did. But yeah, so you have anything you want to talk about, whatever?
My name is Lee, Lee Marion. Along with Anna, we founded the FPHL Trash Talk group on Facebook. I used to be a reporter for Pro Hockey News. I kind of am freelance a little bit, but I grew up in New Jersey, lived in Columbus, Georgia area for about 30 years. I'm in New Mexico now, but I have been a lifelong hockey fan, and I'm telling you, I love talking shit, so this is going to be so much fun. So be prepared, and we are uncensored, so there's going to be might be a few fuck yous.
Amen. There's going to be some fuck yous. There's going to be some trash talk. We're going to come for your team. Y'all are going to come for my team. That's kind of what we're here to do, right?
Yeah, if you're easily offended, this is not going to be the show for you.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No. But we're going to talk about the hot topics that are coming up, and I think Ed here has one that's pretty weighing heavy on his mind.
Oh, it's not heavy. I'm just here trying to speak the truth here. That net was off about 1.5 foot, maybe 2. I mean, in dog terms, it's about 5 feet off. But, how can you let a goal like that in? Especially in overtime. Come on. Port Huron Motor City last Saturday. A good game ended in a controversial call. Really? I understand butter nets, but come on now. That net was at least 75 feet off. Come on. How can you let a goal like that in?
5 feet to 75 feet.
Was this the Port Huron game?
Absolutely. You have to use wrestling terms, They climbed that ladder. That ladder was at least a mile high.
If you're not aware, Motor City beat Port Huron again in overtime. The controversy was that before the goal was scored, Port Huron's goalie knocked the net off of the mooring.
There was a spiritual force that pushed it off.
He wasn't pushed into it. He slid over to the court to the peg, knocked the net off the mooring. That's what happened.
And if he did, it was accidental. It wasn't like he intentionally put butter on his face and knocked the net off. Come on now.
And I explained it to you, Ed, how the rule reads. If the goalie or a defending player knocks the net off the moorings by himself, as long as the officials deem that the puck would have went in the net with the goal on the moorings, it's a good goal.
But you asked Scott Hockeybrand, Of course, we don't know if you bribed him with some, PBR or some Waffle House before that to get that official call. But maybe next time I should bribe him with like a 12-pack of PBR and the call will go my way.
Waffle House. The Waffle House that's how you get the call to go.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah,
extra pancake syrup on that, straight from Canada. You got it.
We might have to try to drop a clip or a replay in or drop a link somewhere. So.
Oh, I have the photo.
The audience.
We're already taking donations to get Scott a Waffle House gift card to get him on the show.
I mean, I have the photo of that net. It was at least 500 feet off the mooring.
I don't even think is that even possible?
I saw a photo a little bit.
Maybe 6 inches, but you know how guys exaggerate with 6 inches.
It's like an old fishing tail.
Even
You know,
lying.
I went fishing, caught a fish this big. No, you didn't. What's that big? But, you know.
Yeah, a male 6 inches is definitely different than a female 6 inches. 100%.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'll make notes.
There's no such thing as 6 inches.
Making notes as we speak.
Anyway, we had a pretty interesting week happen this week. Going into the previous week with the all the suspensions. I don't remember this many suspensions in this league within the first month of the season. How many suspensions have there been? I think, at least 7 that I can count.
Yeah, at least.
This early, yeah. I've seen it later on in the season when I guess players had to pay their dues. You suspend them for odd reasons just to get them to pay their dues, but that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, it's too many so far.
Yeah, some I agree with and some I think are bullshit.
Pretty much.
Yep.
That's a good segue for us, too, because we can officially announce next week our first guest is none other than Diamond Hands Daniel Amesbury.
I am so stoked to have him on the show.
The fact, I've known that man about 10 years, since about 2011, when he first came to play for the Cottonmouths. You might not like him on the ice, but he's one of the nicest men you'll meet off the ice. And he will not pull any punches with us. I'm telling you right now. He is going to be 100% honest. He's going to be brutally honest. And if he can, he'll tell us what he thinks about his suspension and whether he thinks he deserves it or not, which I'm pretty sure he doesn't think he deserves it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to talking to him and asking him a few questions. I'm hoping he'll be able to speak on it, but I definitely don't want him getting in trouble for social media and, speaking out with his opinion. So.
And we'll definitely talk about the Ice Wars.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to see the first go of Ice Wars, but I did get to see him defend the belt, and I cannot lie, I would not want to step in the ring with him. I wouldn't want to get on the ice with him. I would love for him to be on our team, but since he's not, I'm not a fan. But I am a fan, if that makes sense.
But I think, like, with these players, just like any professional person, I think when they're on the ice, they have to be, hard, brutal, and all that stuff. But I think majority of the players off the ice are pretty decent people, per se.
Definitely.
I just don't think I've met anybody so far in FPHL, player-wise, arrogant. They all seem like they want to play, they want to improve their game. Now, management, like as far as coaching and all that stuff, I've never met him personally, but just from the games I've seen him in, especially back in the finals, back in the 2016 Danbury versus Port Huron, that was a fun little line brawl for a little hit that Pace made.
Yeah, Joe Pace seems like the class act guy that everybody talks about. I'd love to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my dream guests for our show, obviously. I've been lucky enough through Pro Hockey News to get to know so many players, so many coaches. Kevin Kaminsky played in the NHL for years, and he's become one of my friends, and he donated to our raffle with no questions asked. Amesbury donated, so many guys did. And like you said, it's very rare. I think I can count on one hand the number of hockey players and coaches that I've met that were just complete dicks who I would have nothing to do with. That's one thing I love about the hockey family.
It just, like a little segue from Ice Wars and now you're saying to Pace, it seemed like any time you get Schmidt and Pace on the ice, I didn't know if they just wanted to fight just for the hell of it, or if they truly are upset about something, but it seemed like it's a pretty much guaranteed that every time they're on the ice together, that you're going to see them scrap. It's hilarious. Every game I see, they're always trying to scrap each other.
I think they're just as excited to fight each other as we are to watch them.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And I've actually had the privilege of meeting both guys after the game, and I can tell you, Pace, he is so nice that I legitimately felt bad for chirping him at games like prior to meeting him. I even apologized and he was like, "No, you need to go harder next time. Make sure I hear everything you say." And I'm like, "Dude, that was not the reaction I was expecting." And then he stayed and just bullshitted with us for 10 minutes about nothing to even do with hockey. Like, legit, very, very nice guy.
Yeah, I think you sat in Columbus behind the penalty box, right, when you had your season tickets?
Every single game, yes.
For one season, we had season tickets behind the bench in the SPHL, and that's where I met Billy McCreary, the coach of Danbury now. I would give him shit every single night. I was brutal with him. And when I finally got to meet him, I introduced myself, and he kind of steps back. He looks at me, he's like, "What do you got to say?" I was like, "I just wanted to meet you, shake your hand." And he told me, he said, "You know how much I look forward to coming to Columbus because I love talking shit with you and talking shit with the fans. It's so much fun for them. You know, fans think, oh, they must hate you because you're so brutal to them and yelling at them. These guys love it. They fucking love it."
Yeah.
When
Yeah, they do.
Huntsville signed Billy Tibbetts one year, and I talked to McCreary before the game. And he told me, he says, "I warned Tibbetts, you're going to give him shit for what he did." And I actually had Billy Tibbetts trying to, after a game, and I'm back there, and he's introducing him. He was like, "I'm going to kill you for what you're saying." I was like, "Dude, come on. Give me a fucking break." It was fun.
Kill you where you stand, boy.
For those of you that don't know, Billy Tibbetts spent time in prison for, I'm not going to say the crime. But the one thing that got him the most was their bus broke down, and they got picked up by an old prison bus. I was telling him during the game, I said, "Billy, you should be happy they sent the prison bus. They made you feel like home."
Damn.
And I tell him shit, and the penalty box says, "Hey, it's not an 8x12 cell, but it's the best we can do."
That's fantastic.
I think there's only been
the visiting
one player.
Players 9 times out of 10 love it when they get chirped because it's fun for them to chirp back.
I've had great interaction with a lot of players, and I've had a few that didn't take it so well.
It wasn't just the players.
Oh, yeah, I've had some encounters with players' moms. Again, it was an accident. I didn't know she was there. I mean, some of our arenas are so far apart that you just don't expect people to be there. So I was out talking shit with my friends between periods, and lo and behold, there's Schnapp's mom. I had no idea, but she asked, she's like, "Who are you talking about?" And I said, "Jacob Schnapp, number 6, and she's like, "Well, that's my son." But I was already committed. I couldn't just be like, "Oh, ma'am, I was just playing." Like, no, sorry, ma'am, but he's a dick on the ice. He may be a great person off the ice, but in Columbus, we're not, the biggest fan. But I mean, he's a good hockey player. So I think maybe that's why we pick on him so much. But yeah, she told me to fuck off. And honestly, that was a moment I'll never forget.
That's a badge of honor.
It truly is. I feel kind of like I left a little bit of myself in Columbus as the lady was told to fuck off by Schnapp's mom. Like, not many people can say that. So it's, badge of honor for sure.
What's your badge of honor, Ed?
My badge of honor, or the person I would say that gave me memory is Mike Dolman. Back in 2016, when we first started, it was Port Huron and Dayton Demolition, actually. Dayton Demolition. Old game puck from them. But anyways, there was a guy named Mike Dolman. I remember, I think him and Pace got into an altercation, a fight and all that stuff. And then part of the East Upper crowd section that we have was tripping at him and all that stuff, and he legitimately was like, "Well, come on now, you're a princess, you got the long hair and blah 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 blah, why don't you fight like a bitch," and blah blah blah. I'm like, whoa. And then I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute, motherfucker, let me tell you something." But then lo and behold, I didn't know how it happened. I must have, a lot of times I fall asleep with my phone in my hand, so I must have friend requested him, and then all of a sudden I became a friend on Facebook with him, and ever since we became friends on Facebook, he turned into a nice guy and all that stuff, and he absolutely adored my daughter, so he was a great guy. I mean, it's funny how, at one minute you're thinking that this guy is just going to be super hard, and then one little mistake, and it was just like, he just turned into this awesome guy. So, I think there's only one person in all hockey that I just cannot stand, and I know he cannot stand me. I said pretty much vulgar things to him. That was back in like the 1990s, the UHL days. Robin Bouchard. He used to play for the Flint Generals. He got traded to Muskegon. Well, there was a puck bunny that lived in Flushing, where I lived and all that stuff, that had the hots for him. Well, him and her got dated, and he had a kid together. So, but he had a girlfriend already on the side. So it was always great because we used to always, chirp at him and says, your son looks like Chad Grills, and we used to, heckle him and all that stuff. But yeah, so Robin Bouchard and I just never got along. He tried, back before they had those protective nets and all that stuff in arenas and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. He would try to whack me every time I got close to him and all that stuff. And I was like, I tried to get close. I'm like, taunting him, Yeah, I said maybe a few things now, with political correctness is not really nice to say. Like, your grandma's dead in the grave, she's probably turning around and looking at how ugly you are, And it was, yeah. So Robin Bouchard was my heel of heels. But in the FPHL, it was close to being Roman, but it's pretty amazing how these players are all amped up on the ice. But, you see them off ice, they're a different story.
Sounds like we've all had some pretty good encounters.
Yeah, that's kind of close to mine. We were was in the CHL days, the original Cottonmouths. And they were in the conference finals against Macon, which Columbus and Macon was probably one of the biggest rivalries in minor league hockey. It was the rivalry between the fans and the players was brutal. We actually had a Columbus fan push a Macon fan down the stairs at the Civic Center one night.
Oh, shit.
We had brawls go in Macon off from the ice into the locker room, between the players. It was nasty. And their captain was Phil Valk, who his brother played in the NHL for a long time. And Phil Valk was one of these guys that you love to hate. We hated him with a passion. And my dad made a poster of his head on the body of a gorilla. And basically said, "Wild gorilla escapes Macon Zoo." So it's like National Geographic cover with his picture on it. And I've got that fucking thing to the glass next to the visitor's bench. My seat for the playoffs was right next to the visitor's bench. Whole series, we're talking shit with him, with everybody. And I want to say it was game 2 in Columbus. There was a bit of a fight at the Macon bench where Andy Powers from Columbus was almost pulled into the Macon bench. And I'm standing there screaming at him, calling him every name you can think of. And Todd Newton from Macon like you had starts squirting water into the crowd. Hits me right in the face. I think this is hilarious. Some dipshit behind me throws his beer onto their bench. Nails Todd Newton right in the back of the head. Well, naturally, you can guess who he thinks threw the beer.
No.
He's halfway over the glass trying to get to me. I'm standing back there. They actually got this shit on the news. I'm standing back there just laughing my ass off at this guy. He's leaning over the bench, reaching for me. His teammates are dragging him back. Security's running in there. They're wanting to kick me out. And everybody around me tells me, no, I didn't throw shit. I'm standing there I'm talking shit.
Uh-huh.
His fuck up was he threw the water bottle into the crowd. So it cost his team a bench minor, but they couldn't prove that he did it. But that was my badge of honor. I had a player literally trying to kill me. And it was he did that, and then I don't remember who it was. We were sitting down the penalty box, tried to climb the penalty box one night to come after a whole section.
My God.
There's nothing better for a heckler like me to have somebody get so pissed off that they want to come after you.
That was always our goal in the 110s. So shout out to my people. I know they're going to stay loud this year, be rowdy, be mean. Our goal was to kind of make somebody cry, but we also wanted to be like, hey, we'll buy you a beer too, Yeah,
it's like Phil Valk. He's become kind of a friend. I actually gave him a copy of the picture, and he loved it. He wanted a copy of it, so I had to give him a copy of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but there's so many hockey memories for everybody. I think.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into some pretty good stories like throughout our
Yeah.
podcast. So
Some of
sounds
the
like,
friends that we've made, some of the ties. It was like I never met you, Anna, until June, and you were I considered you a best friend. We had so much in common.
yeah,
You and my wife hit it off. Me and John hit
yeah,
it off. I love that we've created friendships. Me and Ed don't get along shit, especially when it comes to politics. But he's somebody where I know if I were to call Ed and say, "Hey, we need your help with this," or can you do this? I know he would do it.
absolutely. I've had many a late night conversations with you both, and y'all are the best. Like you said, we haven't all met each other in person, but between running the Trash Talk page and just our big group chat, I don't know. I don't think I could really go a day without talking to you guys at some point, even if it's just some fucked up meme or something. But I know
I
the
mean,
weekends are lit.
oh God, I mean, who would have thought that a little group that we created? This was your idea, by the way. The group was Anna's idea. I just stole it.
Well, you you
So
you took the idea,
Take a
you made the
bow. Take a
page,
bow.
and I
Take a
feel like we
bow.
built it together from the ground
I mean,
up. It
Come on,
was,
it
Anna.
was
Take a bow.
it was supposed to just be Columbus versus Carolina.
yeah,
But I'm like, there's so much downtime between Columbus playing Carolina. Oh, let's open it up to the whole league. And I never would have imagined that we would have hit
exploded.
1,000 subscribers like we did that fast.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost within what, a week or two, and I just loved it. Like, I know last season there were some like pretty heated conversations, but half of those conversations were literally us just, it was
Poking the bear.
100%. And I'm hoping this season rolls in to even more of that, especially having like the new teams and a lot of new faces coming in. And it's funny because I know I always play like, oh, well, come to the big boy table when you're ready, because I know you're
Mm-hmm.
new here and you don't really understand how hard we go. But at the end of the day, I mean, I have made friends from every team. I mean, I don't know if Keith will ever listen to this, but if he does, Keith he's a Carolina fan. Me and him, oh my God, we used to go at it so much that like I wanted to pull my own hair out. And, even just a week ago, I checked on him. I'm like, hey, you doing okay? I haven't seen you on the page. And he's back now. And, um, there's a few others. But yeah, I've made some really good Thunderbird fans because I was thinking last season if I ever went up to a Thunderbird game, I would get the shit kicked out of me, for all the trash that I've talked. But I also feel like there's a handful of people that'd be like, she's kind of a bitch, but she's kind of all right. Like let her sit through the third period and then kick her ass in the parking lot.
Damn Thunder Chicken.
Does anybody want to cover the absolute ass whipping that Columbus put on the Seawall? Because I've been patient, I've been waiting, I've been trying to wait my turn. I just want to hear how it all
Go
went
for it.
down.
Yeah,
Go for
I
it.
can do that. So everybody knows Friday. It started last Saturday, but it is 100% obvious that Mississippi is Columbus's bitch and Columbus is their daddy right now. 11-2 last Saturday, 10-5 Friday. That's twice. I mean, basically, what was it? 26 goals in 4 games.
That sounds like a Brantford smoke game.
Yeah,
Not smoke, but
That's an ass whooping.
I've actually been saying that their Coliseum has now become the Columbus Coliseum. I mean, I know we're in the Civic Center, but I feel like we have taken over the Coliseum. And one thing I do want to point out, I cannot remember the Seawolves goalie's name. Um, I think it's their starting goalie. I'll have to look that up. But one of the goalies on the Seawolves,
Wyrick and Taylor are their 2 goalies.
well, it's really bad. I'm on a hockey podcast and I don't know the guy's name, but he was really good.
Hey, not everybody can be my coochie.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole episode right there. I know. I just know that everybody's dying to talk about Mikuchi.
Yep.
so is that why they were doing that haunted investigation at the Coliseum?
Yeah, because of the murder, the absolute
Yeah.
massacre.
It was
2022.
Yeah, the River Dragon Massacre of 2022.
Legend
And
has it you can still hear the hearts breaking of the Mississippi family.
if you listen closely, you can still hear the teardrops. But you know the best part about that 10-5 win by Columbus?
What's that?
10 goals, 9 different goal scorers.
Yeah, and that really shows the kind of potential. I think Columbus has put together a super solid team this season.
And I have the list too. Here we have Jacob Kelly, 2 goals. Kirk Underwood, Austin Doe, Thomas Aldworth, Jay Krupp, Michael Greco, Adam Vanelli, Justin LaBelle, Cody Rogers, all with a goal.
Yeah, Justin and Doe is pretty good. I think were Portland players at one point.
So basically, just McBurney wasn't the only one that didn't get a goal that game.
Pretty much, yeah. McBurney and Schmidt.
Yeah.
But Schmidt did get his hands dirty with the pace that night.
Oh, yeah. Schmidt put in the work, and so did Mac. I mean, that guy in the goal, I cannot say enough great things. When I found out he would be playing for us again this season, I wanted to cry because I don't know. I love his style. I love the way he plays. He's not, I don't know. He stops it. He stops things that that just continue to amaze me. So I think he's got a bright future.
McBurney and Colgan, that's a dangerous goaltender combination.
And then look what's in front of him. We got solid defense, solid offense.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this last thing about Columbus. How the fuck is Michael Greco in the FPHL?
That guy is crazy. He pleasantly surprised me. I am very, very excited to see him rock and roll this season.
The hustle, the touch, the soft hands,
the ass beatings,
and he showed Saturday he can kick ass.
Yeah, he's not scared to throw hands.
I haven't watched any of the game,
but God, that guy learned a fucking lesson. Greco's going to be a dangerous. I will be surprised if he finishes the league. I hate to say it. I'll be surprised if he finishes the season with Columbus if he doesn't end up not only in the SPHL, in the ECHL by the end of this year.
Yeah, he's got a bright
I haven't
future.
watched any of Columbus games on YouTube, but you're going to make me want to watch one now.
Make you want to watch what?
I said I haven't seen any games yet on YouTube for Columbus yet, but you tell me this, I might want to go back and check it out, see what you're talking about here.
You got to check out Greco. This kid, holy shit.
Yeah, I was shocked because there was a couple new names that I saw on the roster this season. There was some even just new to our team that came from the Wolves and some other teams, and I'd seen them play before, but Greco is one that I have not seen. And so I kind of had my eye on him because I just kind of wanted to see what he was all about, and he did not disappoint. Definitely, if you get a chance, check him out. And that goes for everybody listening because he's a solid, well-rounded player where, most players kind of excel in one area, maybe not excel in every area. Everybody's got that thing to work on, but he's dangerous. He's a weapon.
So if it was an EA Sports Hockey, he'd be like a 99, pretty much, all the way up there.
Yeah. For old school Columbus fans, the one he reminded me the most of, you probably won't remember him as a guy named Chris Bergeron. He was an all-star in the CHL. He was a big body. He was a goal scorer. He had jets, and he wasn't afraid to drop the gloves. This kid is he's going somewhere. I'll be shocked. Like I said, if he's in this league at the end of the year, let alone next year, he's gonna be going up.
Yeah. So
he's definitely a name to watch for the future.
No, that's one bad thing about this league is that you have your players that you see will succeed and are going to leave, but it just breaks their heart seeing that them leaving is doing their career good, which is good, ultimately good for them. But as a fan, you do want to see them stay with your team, but I guess the whole object is to move up in the league. So I mean, it's good for him, but I guess it's kind of sad for the fans at the same time, I guess.
For sure,
definitely a hidden gem that they found. I don't know how Scott or Jerome found this guy, but hell, I mean, I applaud them for finding this guy and bringing him in. They found a definite gem, and he's going to be a fan favorite. I have no doubt.
Already is. I have seen his name blowing up on not just the Trash Talk page, but even in our fan page for Columbus. I've seen his name come up in some other FPHL pages like throughout Facebook and yeah. Yeah, they did good finding him.
Yeah.
Speaking about fan pages and all that stuff, I just want to know how you're feeling, and I know that you've been booted from the Carolina page and all that
Darn,
stuff. For your stuff, I just
Well,
want to see how you're
another
recovering.
badge of
How's the
honor.
recovery going for you? Are you doing okay with
Yeah,
that?
I spoke with my family and
Oh, good. Oh
I've
my God,
been meditating and just kind of reflecting on.
that's very
Me
good.
and
I'm
Anna
proud
go
of
to our
you.
first counseling
Yeah,
session tomorrow. It's so
here,
traumatizing.
I got you
Thank you,
covered. I
because
got you
the
covered.
tears are fucking
You're
endless,
welcome.
man. I'm telling you, I do not know how I'm gonna go on, but that's
Yeah.
okay,
My,
That's
my,
okay.
my, my wife was worried for about 30 seconds and she saw a little tear rolling out of my eye.
Yeah.
So I just told her I was kicked off of the Carolina fan page and she kicked me in the ass, said, grow the fuck up and get over it. So I'm going to try. It's tough.
I'm
It's
surprised I
hard.
lasted as long as I did. I kind of just like hung out just for like little bits of tea here and there, never
Honestly,
interacted.
I'm surprised they didn't kick us off last year after the playoff.
Oh shit, we were harsh. And don't even get me started on the fucking bus. I cannot wait till the bus episode because the memes and
The
whew,
Twitter.
oh yeah, the fucking Carolina bus has their own Twitter account, and if you're not following it, you guys should because I have kind of started
Yeah.
calling her, nicknamed her Sweet Caroline. So if you hear that in the future, that is who we are referring to.
I'm trying to convince my van to get on Twitter right now. My van has a Facebook page, but it does not have a Twitter, so I'm going to convince him to go on Twitter to be friends with this bus.
Oh,
Ooh,
they could be best friends.
yeah,
They
I hope the
could.
bus is single.
I mean, imagine. Oh, I
If
know.
you
I mean, imagine if you
listen
got together.
closely,
What kind of conversion do you have?
yeah. If you listen real
If you
close,
get to get hook up and all that stuff, we could have van bus babies. It's great.
if you listen real close, you hear the bus beep, then you hear some duct tape breaking when it opens the door.
Yeah, I'll have to get my van off of Viagra. I'm sorry. I'll make sure.
I'm definitely pumped. Hopefully, we can get a Thunderbird player to come on for the Sweet Caroline episode. That would be fantastic.
I would love to have that. I would like to see and hear how they feel when they get on the bus, and to know if they're going to make it to their destination or
I
not.
know.
I mean, just imagine the suspense.
Imagine the anxiety. Like we're not even worried about the game yet. It's the stress
I
of
mean,
our
No,
one
if you were on
highway.
Twitter, you saw how stressed out that
I
poor
know.
bus
It's like,
was.
Yeah.
gosh, really end up in a bad neighborhood. They could end up with like 4 wheels less
Yeah.
and on
They're just
bricks.
gonna need to put a mechanic on the fucking roster at this point. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Suit them up,
Yeah, that way
cause
they don't have to steal their bus anymore. They can just pay their mechanic with their Outback Steakhouse gift cards.
oh, I
Yes.
can't. Oh man, I wish everybody knew all the things to come. We have so much in store for you guys.
And we do have some good guests lined up.
Yeah.
We say we got Amesbury coming. Anna, you got Levi Armstrong.
Levi Armstrong, yes, he's going to be coming on in about 2 weeks.
Yep. And then we have our third guest lined up. We have Parker Moskal. He's a player assistant coach with Elmira now. That's a team that's struggling. They're looking for their first win, but they're getting better and they're making moves.
I
And they've
definitely
had their
see
own
improvement.
share of bus issues.
Hopefully they don't turn to Battle Creek. Do you remember Battle Creek a year or two ago?
Oh, God, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. What did they win? Two? They ended up winning 2 games?
No, they won one game in Elmira. Robbie Nichols and Elmira put out a guaranteed win night, and
Right.
during that guaranteed win night, the Battle Creek actually beat Elmira for the first and only game win of the whole season on guaranteed game night, guaranteed win night. So
I think Battle Creek was the only people in the world that were thankful for COVID.
Damn.
I don't give a shit. I don't play.
No, us either. Well, we know. Hopefully, the
Yep.
viewers will learn that. Yeah, this is a lot more
It's a snowflake
uncensored.
free zone.
It really is. And there, I'm telling you guys, if you're listening, there's going to be some times where people are going to come for us, we're going to come for them, and just it's all in good fun. At the end of the day, we're
Yeah.
great people. We would do anything for literally anybody on our page, and I think like Lee put together that raffle to raise money for.
And I am talking with him. I'm hoping to get him on the show in a few weeks, even if we already have a guest lined up, just to kind of give an update to his recovery, and
Definitely.
thank the fans for what they did. That was a scary moment for him, but he's pulling through.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I'm excited for what we got going. This was a fun first episode.
Yeah, I think so too. It's pretty laid back. And you guys will see, we'll get a little more organized. We're kind of going to learn as we
Yeah.
go. And honestly, I think it's really going to come together well. And I think it might even be cool to maybe pull some fans from each team and kind of let them have a little go, like a live trash talk conversation. And we're pretty open to a lot of ideas. So we got a lot of
Man,
really good things.
Yeah.
maybe we can have like by the end of our season or whatnot, maybe Lee and I can have a beard growing contest, see who can have the biggest beard.
Yeah, no
I'm
kidding.
going since March, so about 8, 9 months. But I do want to say this. I don't want to end on a sad note, but we're going to do this episode in tribute of Dan Bicella.
Yes.
If you don't know, Dan Bicella was a longtime player in the SPHL. Played for Pensacola, Knoxville. I believe he played for Huntsville. He a couple years ago was diagnosed with leukemia and was doing better, and then he just went downhill, and he passed away earlier this week. I was lucky enough to get to meet him through Pro Hockey News. Got to interview him a few times, and he was literally one of the most down to earth, just purely nice guys in this world. And to lose him to this horrible disease, I think we've all been touched by some form of cancer.
Yeah.
Anna, your mother just was declared cancer free, and that's a blessing.
Yeah, I know that she's super lucky.
But I just want to Bucky's family, his friends, Justin Schmidt, one of our fellow guys. Bucky was one of his mentors with Huntsville.
Yeah, I've seen his post.
It's hit him hard. Kind of got me a little bit down, knowing how amazing this guy was. But his family's in our prayers, and we're going to dedicate our first episode to him.
How about we do like 10 seconds of silence in his memory?
Like that.
Let's end with a little 10-second moment of silence. And we're going to say this is for Bucky. Keep his family and his friends and everybody in your prayers. He was an amazing man.
Absolutely.
So let's not end on a sad note.
No.
We're looking forward to the future. We got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a chirp of the week. And we don't really have one lined up. Here's our chirp of the week. Hey, Mississippi, Columbus is your daddy. You're our bitch.
Shots fired. All right. So now that you guys have heard that, come to the Trash Talk page and fire back at us. That's like kind of what we're hoping for. Come have a good time in the comments. And maybe in a couple of weeks, we can maybe start voting on like chirp of the week or something like that. Give it like 24 hours and we can like throw it on the podcast for like the following week or something cool. So
yeah, we got a lot of cool things lined up, a lot of stuff planned, and we're going to have fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's the main point of this is fun. At the end of the day,
fun. Yes.
Yeah, and our wonderful producer in the background, he's knocked this out of the park. He's got this whole thing set up for us.
Yes, do not forget to thank him in the comments. If not for him, I don't even think any of this could be possible because I don't know shit about technology. Like the fact that I'm wearing headphones that have Bluetooth, that's a big deal for me. Like I plugged in my
Yeah.
lamp today, that's a fucking achievement for me.
I
So
got the
there you
Bob Barker
go.
microphone, so I didn't hear
Yeah.
that.
I made sure I had enough battery left on my phone for this.
Perfect. Well, cool. I think we're going to be dropping our episodes on what looks like Fridays, and
Yes.
yeah, if anything like that changes, we'll definitely keep everybody up to date. But
So if you guys want us to cover any topics, talk about anything,
Yeah.
or something that's on your mind, or you just want to, have us, complain to each other about something, just leave a comment and let us know.
yeah, I mean, ideas.
We can't count on major controversies like this awesome goal that Motor City scored every week.
That Motor City should have never had. Exactly. Hello. It was at least 6,000 feet away from the peg. 6,000 feet.
The net wasn't even in Port Huron anymore.
Hell no, it was in the parking lot somewhere.
The net was all the way in the Bronx. That's how far off.
It was across the Blue Water Bridge in Canada. Well into Canada.
We're gonna have to find this clip. Drop it. We'll drop a link on the page, and let's see what everybody says in the comments. I'm interested to see what the audience.
I'm going to Google Earth, and I'm going to find that goal somewhere in Canada. I'm going to tell you, we're going to Google Earth. We're going to find that goal in Canada somewhere in Kitchener, Ontario. There will be that goal net that Mortis scored on.
The net's all the way in PEI.
Absolutely. About ready to take a hop on into the Atlantic Ocean, take a swim. Come on now.
Yeah, the net's at Alex Gallant's house in Prince Edward Island.
So I think next time Motor City comes to Port Huron, I think our little equipment guys, the little net guys, I think they should just put the net in the parking lot. Whatever. Score wherever you want. Put it in the parking lot. Who cares? It's not a game anymore. Just put it in the parking lot.
If I remember correctly, I think Watertown had an issue with their nets last season too.
We're not allowed to talk about that, are we?
I remember this league. We've had, I call them buttery nets. Ever since 2016,
I call it bullshit.
I don't know what manufacturer did you get the nets from, but they have butter at the bottom. They just end up sliding. I don't know, they just slide. I mean, maybe they need to get the unbuttered version, but it's like they slide all the time. I just don't understand.
I don't know. Maybe
What was that?
It's a conspiracy.
It is.
Well, they'll invest some money and get, a bigger arena and get rid of those Wish.com nets, and we might have a chance at a good game without that damn net coming off.
Yeah, we'll see.
I really think there's a publicity stunt for that net. I think Motor City's net has an OnlyFans page.
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. I think that's a good place to leave our guys.
Yep.
Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
You guys have a good evening. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week for Amesbury.
Daniel Amesbury, the king of the rink. He's going to be in that. He's going to be in here. And hey, if you have any questions for Daniel Amesbury, leave them in the group. We'll make a post in the group for anybody who has any questions for him. We'll pick out some of the best ones, best fan questions, and hey. Don't hold back, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to hold back, and I think he'd be disappointed if we did.
Same, and I have a feeling he may not like me too much by the end of the podcast, or maybe he won't really give a shit. We'll see, but we're not gonna. I don't want him to hate me by the end.
Maybe he'll bring a virtual rose for you. Maybe he'll have a rose for you by the end of the show.
Yeah.
He'll serenade you with a rose, and choke slam both Lee and I. Whatever, it's all good.
Yep.
All right, guys.
This was fun.
It was fun. Yep. Can't wait to see you guys next week, but I know we'll talk before then.
Yes.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a great week. Stay safe.